my channel, Ruby Stedman. Today we'll be making this beautiful summer poncho or bikini cover-up. It's done in Tunisian crochet. It's very easy to do. The instruction that I will be giving you is for size large, extra large. You see it's nice and loose. You can make these any size. It's very easy to change the size, and you can make it from for a little girl to the biggest size that you want. So it's very easy to do that. So I hope you guys like it and give it a try. And here is the list of material you're gonna need to make this cover up, bikini cover up, or a mini poncho, you know, like a summer poncho, or like you can put it on top of any spaghetti strap, or you can make a blouse with this design, just a little smaller, and you will have a blouse. You're gonna need 2 of carom cake, and this one is fruit cake. It's medium 4 and 80% acrylic, 20% wool, and you have 200 grams. You need to, in order to match the stripe in the front, the same in the back. Otherwise you will have different color in the front and back, and in the side it will look different. And to have enough for it. So you're gonna need a Tunisian hook and a crochet hook. So you have to match your crochet hook to the size of the Tunisian hook that you're gonna use. So you can use any type of Tunisian hook. You can use the metal type with a little square in the back. This one is a 6mm, and so is this one with the 2 hook in the end. You can use a 7mm. You see I have this one, I have this bamboo, and this one with the cable. For me it'll be easier to work with the one with the cable because I'm gonna work a long piece and it's easier to put it here. But you can work with any of these if you don't have one of these. So you can search on eBay Afghan Tunisian hook and they will show up. And I recommend to buy a bamboo type because the plastic is very brittle and break easy. So you're gonna need tapestry needle and scissors. The poncho that we're gonna do is something like this. It's gonna be one piece. We're gonna start here and work our way to the other side. So you're gonna make a chain long enough for the width that you want your poncho. So either you want exactly shoulder to shoulder, or you want a little bigger, you know, like loose. So it's up to you the size that you want to make the poncho. You can make this any size. So you will measure in your body, even if it's for a little kid, you measure in the kid's body. Okay? So you're gonna start with the regular chain. And I'm gonna do a chain for mine. And I'm gonna measure it myself, and I will let you know how many chain I will do for mine and the measurement in centimeters. Okay? Here I have 70 chains and a measure of 56 centimeters, and I finish here with my crochet hook. And I'm gonna grab this one, and I'm gonna tie this chain space a little bit by pulling in here and making this loop longer. So I'm gonna go to the next one, the next chain space. I'm gonna chain 1. I'm gonna tie it a little bit and pull to create that loop the same length as the other one. I go to the next space and I'm gonna chain 1, pull a little bit to make this a little tighter there, and pull that loop the same length as the other one. Again, tie this a little and pull, and you have 4. And 5. Try to make them all the same length. And like that you're going to continue until you have the same amount of chain that you did. You're going to have all loops. So for me, I have to have 70 loops like this. Here I wanted to show you a little more close up. So you have the next chain space. You're going to pass your hook through that top strand. You're going to chain 1. You tie it a little bit and pull and you do that long loop. Again, you go to the next one and you do the next long loop, and like that you're going to continue all the way to the end. Nice and easy, making sure that all your loops are the same length. Here I have all my loops, and it's easier when you work with one of these Tunisian crochet. I bought these ones on eBay in a pack. So now we're going to work the Tunisian exactly the same as you do the way back. You're going to pass through 1 to create that loop, and now through 2, 2, and 2. You see through that loop and the next one. And you're going to do that all the way to the end. And it will be like this. Once you finish the first row, you're going to chain 1, and again you're going to elongate that loop, and then now for the next one you're going to go in between the 2 strands, only in this one and then the one before the last one. You're going to do this, that way it's nice and straight. And between the 2 strands you're going to do the chain and do your loop. Now you're going to go in between the 2 stitches, in between this one and that one. You're gonna come here and do the next one like this. You see, only this one is in the center, and then the other one is in between these two stitches. Okay, and make sure that you have the same length for all your loops. And to have that, I recommend, you see, to place your finger in the last two, and that stay the same size. You go in between these two and you chain one and do the next one, and you see they all stay the same by holding these two. You go between these two, and like that you're going to continue until the end, that I will show you how you're going to finish the last two. Okay, here I have 3 left, so I'm going to go in between these two. Now I have 2 left, because you don't count that one, is this one is for that one here. And then you go in the next one, and instead of go in between those two, you go in the center and the two strand, between the two strand, and you do that one, and then you do the last one. Okay, like so. And then you'll have a straight at the beginning and at the end. Now again, like you did in the row before, you're going to pass through 1 and then through 2, 2, 2, and 2, all the way to the end. So this is a repetition that you're going to do in every single row until you have the length that you want until your shoulder. And then we're going to separate the opening for the head and then do the other part. If you like, you can work one piece and then after do the other one and sew them in your shoulder and in the side. It's up to you. Okay, but for mine gonna be in one piece. So I will meet you here at the end of this row, that I'm gonna show you in the next row how to work with one of these, just in case you don't have one with a cable like this one. Okay, I finished the second row, and now again, but now with this Tunisian hook, I'm gonna show you. You're gonna chain 1, and again you're gonna pull that loop long enough. You can do them as long as you like, and then you're gonna go between these 2 strands at the next one in the center and do, just a second, let me hold this here, and do the next one. And now you're gonna go between that stitch and the next one in this space, and here you're gonna do the next one. And for now on until the end, the last 3, you're gonna work in between the space, okay, and here. Always holding this one, that way they stay the same length. So with this one, because we have 70 loops, there will be too many for the length of my hook, and they will come out at the end. It's okay if they come out, because once you do a few, this one don't gonna change sizes, only if I pull them, you know, the one before. So I can remove them from here and they stay like that, those loops, no problem, you see. So I'm gonna continue with this, and you'll see that at the end they will fall off on my hook, but that's okay. And always holding the last 2 that you did, that way they stay the same size. If you have my stitches fall out, but that's okay, because if I don't pull them, they don't gonna change size. So, and here I did the one before the third one. You see, that is the one that go with the third one. And then you go to the next one, and instead to go in between this one and that one, you go in the center of this one. This is my third attempt to do this, because each time I try it tends to go one way or the other. So I'm trying to do it this way, that way it's straight at the beginning and at the end. So now go inside the last one and do the same. So again, you pass through one, and then two, 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 like that. So I hope this time it's straight at the beginning and at the end of the piece. Well, so far it's looking straight in the beginning and at the end. And like I mentioned, this is my third attempt to create a piece. And I already had almost the entire front piece done. And the change of color sometimes is right in the middle. And in some, bigger pieces of one color. And then I decided that every fourth row, I'm going to change to the next color. That way I don't get a seam in the middle of the piece. And so far at the end here, it looks straight as well. Okay, so once in a while count the stitches and make sure that you have your 70 stitches if it's 70 that you start your piece with. Okay, so that's the repetition that you're gonna do until you have your desired length. I'm gonna continue my piece with this one because it's easier, less heavier, because as you pull all your loops and they are in your hook, the hook starts to get a little bit heavier, and it's easier with this one because this one just go in the side and you only holding the hook part. So all these Tunisian hook, I bought them in eBay, so that's why I have them. So I want to continue with this one to do my entire piece. I wanted to show you that in here, I only cut my yarn once when I change color in here from the green to the yellow, because in here the yarn change and the way back in here, but you see, you don't see the change at the color because I came back with my loops with the purple and you don't see the change. Only you see the change in if it is in one of these long strands that you see half one color and half other color. Like for example in here, you see this is no problem to do it like this, because now I go back with the green and you don't gonna see the seam between this color and this one in here, because you don't see in here between the yellow, and you only see, if you look well, you see this separation here is in yellow and this one here in purple, but when you have it on, you don't gonna see that. So far it's coming out as straight as I can in the side here and in the other side. So far so good. Keep my fingers crossed, that way I don't have to undo this all over again. And I have to do a few more rows, and then I will show you how you're going to separate the opening for the head and continue the back of the piece. So it's very easy. Here I have my desired length, and now I'm going to separate the shoulder and the opening for the head and the other shoulder. So we want to work exactly the same as we done so far, and I'm going to work in 21 in this side, leaving the opening for the head, and the other 21 in the other side, okay, for the other shoulder. So for mine, I did 21 row. If you like, you can do more or you can do less for yours. So here I'm gonna work exactly as I've done so far. I'm gonna create my loops. Once I have my 21 loops like this, I will meet you here to show you how you're gonna leave the opening for the head and work in the other 21 on the other side. Okay, here I have 21. Now what we're gonna do is, in the same space, I'm gonna do a chain 1, but I don't gonna pull that strand. I'm gonna leave it short like that, and I'm gonna go to the next space and do a single crochet, and you're gonna do, that's 1, so you're gonna do 28 single crochet, and then when you have your 28 single crochet, you'll have 21 space left for the other shoulder. We're working in between the two, you see, in here, in this space. You can do a slip stitch if you like, but I'm doing single crochet. It's easier than a slip stitch. Okay, so I will meet you here when I have 21 space left for my other shoulder. Here I have my 28 single crochet. Now I have a loop here. I'm gonna elongate that loop for the first one of the 21. So that's 1. Then go to the next space, the second one, and then the next space, the third one, and like that you're gonna continue until you have 21 of this loop. And like that you separated the opening for the color, or for the head. So I will meet you here when I have my 21 loops. Here I have my 21, so I'm going to pass it through 1, and then through 2, 2 and 2 until I have done all those 21, okay? Once you finish those 21, you have to replace those 20 spaces here. So you're going to chain 28. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You're going to continue until you have 28. Here I have my 28 chains. And now what you're going to do, you're going to pass this one through the first loop, and then you go 2 at a time until you're done your 21 loops. And like that, you created the opening for the head. Once you finish, it will look like this. So you have 21 loops in one side, 28 chains in the center, and 21 loops in the other side. So now I'm going to do 2 rows with the same color as this, with this one that I have left here from this one. And then when I finish with this 2 rows, I will come to this ball and start from the green to the inside. I will pull it out and start working with this color. They are the same color as I did for the front. And I hope that the length of the color are exactly the same for this one. That way I have the same amount of stripe. So let's hope that that don't change. So I will have exactly the same for the front and back, and that will be 1 stripe of each color, front and back, even. Okay, so you're going to start here like you've done so far for this 21. When you go to the 22, you go to the 1 strand here to this chain, and then to the 23, 24, and replace those 28 and go back to the 21 on the other side and continue. So it's really easy. I have my 21 loops. Now I go to the chain space and I grab 1 strand and make my next one. So now I have to count 28. So you can count that one as a 22, or you can count that one as the first one of the 28. And go to the next chain space, pass through 1 strand, and do the next one. And like that, you're going to continue until you replace your 28 stitches, and you're going to end up with your 70 loops again. Okay. Here I have my 28, so now I'm gonna start between these two, the first one of my 21. And then in between those two, my second one. And like that, I'm gonna continue all the way to the end, and like that you finish the back, the opening for the head. So after this row, I will do one more with this color, and then I will change color to the green. If you're doing this one color, it's even better because you don't have to be worried about changing color. Just work until you have your length. If you don't have carrot cake, you can use any red heart yarn, medium 4, or if you live in a country that you don't get red heart and you have hilo brisa, you can use that one. You can use cotton. Don't matter if it's a thinner yarn, you still can do this, no problem. Okay, so I'm gonna continue with this, and then after the next row I will change to the green. When you finish the row, it will look like this. You see, exactly the same as the front. So you're gonna continue working the same amount of row that you did for the front, you're gonna do for the back. That way when you sew the side, you leave the opening for the arm, you'll have the same amount of row for the front and the back, and then you sew them even. Okay, so I will meet you here when I have my other 20 row, because I did 21 for the front. I had to do 21 for the back. I already done one, so I had to do 20 more. I finished my last row, and that was for this color, exactly the same as the beginning for this color. So I gotta do a slip stitch in the border all the way to the other end, but this time I'm gonna work, you know, when you come back from the end to work inside the loops, you create inside those loops like a chain. If you look inside, it's like a chain, and that is where you're gonna work. You're gonna go inside here. The first one is a little bit more difficult. Let me do this one again, because I left it a little bit too tight. You see, in this one here, when you do this, you create a chain inside, so in that space is where you're gonna work, and you're gonna do a slip stitch. You go to the next space and do a slip stitch, just moving this out of the way, the loops. When you finish, you will chain one, and you're going to leave a tail long enough for sewing this color, or the color that you have. If you did it in one color, no problem, just leave a tail long enough for sewing until under the arm. But for me, I will have to change color each time I sew the stripe together. So you're going to continue doing slip stitch You see, I move this and I go in between the two, but in that strand, and I do my slip stitch. And it will be like this. I finished my piece in here, and it will be like this when you open it. It's the opening for the head. So now what you have to do is sew the side. You will come here and sew each color with each color. If you did a multicolor like this, and then the only thing that you have to do is leave the opening for the arm. I already did this part here. I sewed these two together, and I left the opening for the arm in here. So I left 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 plus the part of the shoulder, those 21 stitches on each side, you see. So that was this color, the 5 row for this color, the 2 and the one on the top. So I'm gonna do the same on the other side, and I'm gonna match the colors, plus I'm gonna use this turquoise green for here, the yellow yarn to sew the yellow part, and the purple for the purple part. Now we're gonna do the sewing part, and it's very easy. You're gonna grab a tail just long enough to sew this color if you did yours multicolor, but if you did one color, yes, you have to have a strand of yarn long enough to sew until under the arm. So I'm gonna secure this here, and I'm gonna go at the top of the loop where we created like a little spine for the way back of the stitch, leaving that strand of yarn long enough, the same length of the loop. Now I go to the other side and come back to this one and secure the two sides together. And then go up to the next stitch on the top of the loop and leave that strand the same length as the loop, and go to the other side and repeat the same thing. That's how I'm gonna sew my entire piece all the way until I have the length of my opening for the arm. So with this color I'm gonna sew until here, and then in the next one I will start with the yellow one. That way the strand of yarn is the same color as the yarn that we did the loops. Once you finish sewing in here, you will tie all these tails and loose them, and you'll finish your piece. And when I do that off camera, I will show you then the end result. Finish sewing in the two sides and loosening all the tails, and when you put it on, you don't want to see the seam that much. You see in here, you don't see it because it's the little loops. You don't see the seam. So I put together the two ball of yarn that I have, the leftover, and I have 147 grams left. So it means that from the 400 grams I use 253 grams. So if you're doing this with only one color, you need around 260, give or take, because depend on the size of the loops. And maybe you make the loop bigger, you will need more yarn. So I'm going to show you now the end result. And this is how I look from the back. Well, this is the end result, and I love this piece because it's nice and fresh, especially for those hot summer days that is very sunny and you put a spaghetti strap and you want to cover your shoulders. It's perfect. So it's very easy to do and fast, and you can make it any color with any yarn. You can make it with cotton or acrylic, so your taste. So I hope you guys like it, and give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you are not already a subscriber. And if you make this piece and you want to send me some pictures, you can do it through my Facebook page, Ruby Stedman. You can find me in my Instagram, Ruby Stedman Crochet. Please share my video with friends and family. That way you help me grow here in YouTube. I wish you a happy, beautiful day.